Welcome class. So here we are again with our new topic, which is measures of dispersion. So in the last class, in your previous class, we discussed about your measures of central tendency. In this particular chapter, we studied various measures of central tendencies, which include your mean, median, mode, your weighted arithmetic mean, combined mean, harmonic mean, geometric mean, and weighted particulars of these two means. So, in this particular chapter, we try to have a look at the central character of the data set. So these all a part of your descriptive, these were your part of your descriptive statistics. So through these tools, through these measures, we try to describe the data we have. So we describe that by calculating the mean, the median, mode. So these particulars tell us about the data, and we try to summarize the whole data into one central number which depicts the characteristic of the data set. So in this chapter we learned about that central character of the data set. Now let me tell you that in this descriptive statistics, we are trying to describe the data. As I told you in my class, when we describe a thing, the description should be in such a manner that a person who is not able to see that thing would be able to perceive the image of that object. So it is about describing the data. So when you describe thing, you always talk about the characteristics. So if I describe your classroom, since you all have not visited the college, the classroom, you all are yet to see the college from inside. So if I want to explain, if I want to describe the classroom to you, I will tell you that the dimension of the class is this, and the color of the walls are like this, and there are these many, a particular number of benches and number of fans, lights. I'll tell you the direction of projector and the board. In advance, I can also tell you about the direction and size of the windows and the gate, door of the classroom. I may also tell you about the color of these fixtures. So through these information, ये जो information है, ये information, this information will help you in making an image of classroom. So the type of classroom we are having, the type of this description, so this description is going to help you to imagine the classroom in a way, to see through closed eyes. So this is the power of description. So in the same way, in this descriptive statistics, we are trying to make you trying to make you understand about the data, the nature of the data. So what I tell you, आप data को कैसे recognize करेंगे? I'll tell you that the mean of this data is this, median is this, the distribution is like this. So we have learned about central tendencies, but this central tendency is not enough. Why? Because it will not tell us whether the data is closely attached to each other, is close to each other, or whether the data set is having different number of values scattered. So for example, we'll consider a series here, and you'll tell me that how these series are different from each other. So I'll make 3 data set here. So be it A, B and C. Now the data set is having these numbers. So these are the observations, and these number of observations are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And another data set is having these numbers 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. And in the C series you are having this data 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 and 18. And what we realize is that the sum of these data set is equal. All are having this 90 as the sum of the observations. So this 90 is the sum of the observations for all the set. And if you calculate the mean, you will see that mean is coming to be, sorry, this is 9. So mean is coming to be 10. Now mean which is a central tendency measure is 10, is same in all these 3 series, yet there is some difference. There is a different description of these 3 data. So in statistics we are concerned about this consistency of the data. So it doesn't matter, it depends on the objective whether we are looking for the consistency or inconsistency, but this data is telling us about the nature of the data set. So in this you can see that every value is matching with your central tendency. So it means they are accurate values, these are consistent, and if I want to predict the next value, then I'll play my game on the number 10. But when we look at the data set B, I find that there is some variation in the values. These are not as per the average. So we see that the point number 1, the first score is less than the average, second one is improving, but it is also less than the average. So we find that difference here is 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are negative and these are positive. So we see that the variation is there, but this variation is not going beyond this 4-point variation. So this B series is less consistent than A, But again we have another series C, which is very dispersed, having great variation from the average. So here you see it is minus 8, it is minus 6, it is minus 4, it is minus 2, it is 0, it is 2, it is plus 4, plus 6, plus 8. So the variation is higher in this third series. So if I want to rank these three series in terms of consistency, then this is the most consistent, this is second number consistent, this is third number consistent. So this is the consistency in the data set. So what dispersion is telling you, dispersion is telling you that the scatterness of the data set from its central tendency, the variation in the values. So as a statistician, I am looking for the perfection. We are moving towards the accuracy. We want to get close to the reality, and we can be close to the reality only when the dispersion is less, so that the central tendency actually depict the nature of the all the observations, nature of the data set. So there are various definitions given for the dispersion, and few of them are: dispersion is a measure of the variations of the items. This is given by the Professor A.L. Bolle, and you will find his contribution in the later chapter in the index series. And there are various other definitions are also given by different scholars, like there is one definition by Professor Connor, by Professor King. So you may refer all these definitions from your textbook, which I have referred to you already. So now let's move towards, I hope you are getting the basic idea of dispersion. This dispersion is telling me about the dispersedness of the data. So if this is my central tendency, if this is my central tendency, where rest of the data is lying, how close the rest of the data is with my central tendency, or how far this actual value around my central tendency. So this is dispersion. Next is your measures of dispersion. So just like we studied measures of central tendency, we have these measures of dispersions. Now all these measures are being classified into two major categories. What are these two major categories? Number one, absolute measures of dispersion, and relative measures of dispersion. So for every measure you will find an absolute variant and the relative measure of dispersion. So absolute is given in the actual terms, it is expressed in the same statistical unit in which the original data is gathered. So it is all about change in the expression of the measure. So it is expressed in the same statistical, pardon my handwriting, this is electronic pen, so I am still learning this. So it is expressed in the same statistical unit in which the original data are given. But when we talk about the relative measures, so these are specially independent of the units of measurement, and that is why the important feature, the important characteristic of this is that these can be used for the comparison purpose. So when you want to compare the variability of two distributions or two series, then you will use this relative measure of dispersion, and there are various measures available. So the basic division is in the term of its expression. Now let us look at some few good properties which a good measure of dispersion need to have. What are these properties? So we are going to evaluate all the measures of dispersion on the basis of these properties. Okay, number one, simplicity. It should be easy and simple to understand. Next is ease of calculation. Third is it should be rigidly defined. So whenever we are looking for any measure, we expect it to be rigidly defined so that we do not get the vague values and vague interpretation. It should be based on all the observations. I hope you are able to recall the concept of central tendency measurement. Further, mathematical ट्रीटमेंट पॉसिबल होना चाहिए. सैम्पलिंग स्टेबिलिटी, and we have discussed this concept in detail in the previous classes. Last one, not affected by the extreme observations या फिर extreme values. So these are the requisites कह लीजिए या properties कह लीजिए to be a good measure of dispersion. Next is your first measure of dispersion. First measure of dispersion is range. Range is the first measure of dispersion we are going to study, and this is the most simple to calculate measure of dispersion. What it does, it just take a deviation from the largest value of the data set and the smallest value of the data set. So we calculate range by deducting largest value of the data set minus smallest. So we deduct the smallest value from the largest value. So this will give you range. So this range will tell you how spread is your data. So this is a very simple and easy way to understand the gap in your data, the scatterness of the data, how spread is your data. So this is a absolute measure. ये एक absolute measure है. इसी का relative measure भी हमारे पास है जिसको हम कहते हैं coefficient of रेंज। तो कोफिशिएंट ऑफ रेंज कैसे निकाली जाएगी? दिस इज गोइंग टू बी largest value minus smallest value divided by largest value plus smallest value. So this will give you a proportional ratio to compare. So this is your relative measure of range, coefficient of range, and I don't think that we need to do any question on this. Let us look at the merits and demerits of range. Quickly we will go through this. मेरिट बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है, मेरिट ये है कि बहुत सिंपल है, इट इज़ सिंपल एंड मिनिमम टाइम में ये हो जाता है। बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट डीमेरिट्स, बहुत ज़्यादा इसके डीमेरिट्स। पहला, ऑल ऑब्जर्वेशंस को इग्नोर करता है, ऑल ऑब्जर्वेशंस इग्नोर। दूसरा, एक्सट्रीम वैल्यू से इफेक्टेड नहीं होना चाहिए, बट दिस इज बेस्ड ऑन एक्सट्रीम वैल्यूज ओनली। Yes, it gives a fair idea, very basic idea of the dispersion, but yet this is purely based on the extreme values, and this is vulnerable to sampling fluctuations. Sampling fluctuation से प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है, आगे का मैथमेटिकल ट्रीटमेंट करना मुश्किल है। So these are some demerits of the range, and since this is a recorded lecture, I want to stop here, and I don't want a lengthy lecture to be uploaded on my channel, so that the content relevance is there in the video. So for now I am leaving the class, and I'll soon be uploading another video. So we'll move after the range, we'll discuss about the quartile deviation, we discuss about the mean deviation. There are a lot of measures to be discussed on this measure of dispersion. So for now, thanks and practice.